Hey there, Smazzy. This is a bit of a ranking video. No, it's not. It's a wanking video. It's a rant video. That's what it is. I got it right. Third time's a charm. You know, sometimes you do these videos off the cuff. This is an improvisation. This is one of my improvisational rant videos, reaction videos to the fans. Sometimes I get a little bitchy, a little tired of reading these posts on Reddit and Hoffman forums about that artist owes us. I've been a fan for 20 years. I've been a fan for 30 years. I've been a fan for half a century. And I don't like them charging so much. And why don't they put out this? And they owe us that. And, you know, I'm amused. I am really amused. And sure, I love getting rare tracks, and I like when an artist puts out more music or better music, or, you know, here's where this derived from. There's a record coming out. I think it's in November. I don't have the dates right, and someone's going to call me on my shit here because I didn't prepare. But this is an improvisational video. I'm doing this off the cuff based on some feeling, some emotional duress, some just reactions to these comments all over the forums on one Mr. Bruce Springsteen. Okay? Bruce Springsteen has an album coming out, and it's an album, volume 1, which means there's going to be 2 albums of soul records, of covers of soul records. And, you know, a handful of more are records if you follow this soul scene, you know, mostly black music from the 60s into the 70s, Northern soul out of the UK. If you follow that, you will know these songs. So there's this whole bitchiness attitude going over on Hoffman especially. And there's been some YouTube responses and comments about this, of these people bitching like, why don't they do some unreleased stuff? He hasn't done a new song since the Western Skies album. That was old songs, and he put out these, you know, I think actually Western Skies is one of the best things he's done in whatever. And who gives a crap when he wrote this stuff, you know, and when he recorded this stuff. Great music, great music. This is a good example. I love these 2 records. This is a record of covers. So these people are all upset that he's doing a cover record in 2 volumes of cover records. They don't like the production. They don't like the sound. They're hating it already, and they've heard one song. They've heard one song. Listen to the friggin' record first. It's like those Christian fundamentalists that didn't want to, you know, wanted to ban the Martin Scorsese Passion of the Christ movie before they've even seen it. You know, when people like jump in, we don't want that. We're going to protest that. We're going to, you know, they hate this thing. And it just makes me laugh and just, I get sick of these ultra fans. Now, yeah, I'm a Beatle fan. I want things released. I want outtakes, but they don't owe you a fucking thing. You know, you bought all their records for 50 years. So what? They're artists. They should do what they want to do. Bruce Springsteen is doing a soul record. Going to do 2 soul records. Who cares if he does 5 soul records? I think these are great. He did the Seeger sessions, Pete Seeger, and he did it in a wonderful way in Dublin. I think these are wonderful records. And this is something he wanted to do. You know, he's not the common man anymore. He's standing in front of his expensive car in his barn. People, give me a friggin' break. I hate this. Now, another artist that this happened to just a few years ago, and let me go grab those records, okay? I'm still here. I'm still here. Not going anywhere. Okay. This is the Bobster. The Bobster. All right? There was a whole group of, like, Bob Dylan fanatics that had their panties in a bunch when Bob Dylan put this record out. Bob Dylan, the crooner, doing Sinatra-like songbook stuff. like the crooner, beautifully recorded in Capitol Studios. So he puts this album out, Shadows in the Night. This is a wonderful record. Now, if you don't like Bob Dylan's voice, you don't like his voice anyway. And he, and someone like Bruce Springsteen, doesn't have to prove anything else. They want to do what they want to do. They're an artist. If you don't like it, don't friggin' buy it, okay? So, Bob Dylan, Shadows in the Night. I love this record. I think it sounds great. The small group he has, the musicianship, produced by Jack Frost, which is his name. That's a pseudonym for Bob Dylan. Jack Frost is the producer who's been working for the last 10, 15 years on all the Dylan albums. He's self-producing because he realized everyone's making him sound like something else, even though there's some great things of Daniel Lanois and, you know, on and on and on, some great producers. I think he is his best producer. He's found something with his arrangements, with his musicians, with his vocal patterns that totally different than what we know from the 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s and 2000s, but it works. I love this record. So, you know, okay, people thought, okay, it's a one-off. So what? So then, after, was it a year or two, he puts out this. He does it again. He does another record, including Young at Heart. What a great song that Sinatra had a huge hit with. Polka Dots and Moonbeams, All the Way, All or Nothing at All, Come Rain or Come Shine, produced by Jack Frost. Fantastic, right? You know, people are bitching. We want a new Bob Dylan album. We want a new... Bob Dylan doesn't owe you jack shit. Neither does Bruce Springsteen. You know, Jesus Christ. So, okay. People rant on the Hoffman forums. They rant on Reddit. They rant on videos on YouTube. They rant. Let the artists do what they want to do. That's what I say. So then we cut to 2017. Bob Dylan, the Bard himself, puts out this triplicate. 3 more beautifully recorded records at Capitol Tower, the great Capitol Studios, the studio that Nat King Cole built. He puts out this record in 2017. 3 records produced by Jack Frost of Standards and a folio. This is a special edition. This is beautiful, gorgeous. And heads exploded. They're exploding because Springsteen's doing soul covers. They're exploding that Bob Dylan is doing these covers. Now, he's not doing this prancing around shit-ass cover stuff that Rod Stewart did, all those, you know, volumes of records. I mean, but come on, but who else did it? Okay. People bitch because his voice is gone, and they bitch that Paul McCartney did this. Kisses on the Bottom. It was a love letter to his wife, Nancy. And he wrote one original, I think, only one original, I can't remember. The Valentine, My Valentine, which is beautiful. And he does. Now, what's great about this has Diane Krall's wonderful trio or quartet, I can't remember. I think it's a trio. Her piano playing, so it's really well recorded. Again, it's got that studio sound. Its voice is low, it's parched, but it really works, and he made this work, and he did a fantastic job of it. So I just want, oh, but then, okay, I'm mixing up these great musicians. They're doing what the fuck they want to do, and not just because you think you are owed another new record and you hate it. You prejudge a record before it comes out. The other one, Dylan does come back, and at the beginning of the pandemic, he drops a single, Murder Most Foul. An amazing tour de force, 14 minutes, 15 minutes. And then he puts out a record right in the midst of the pandemic, Rough and Rowdy Ways. This is a perfect record. This is the new Dylan. This is not your Mr. Tamarine Man Dylan or even Nashville Skyline or even Infidels. And this is an amazing album. This is the best album of 2020, in my opinion, or close to it. I think this was my #1 album. And after doing 5 cover albums of Sinatra-like ballads or standards, Dylan came out and did this. So all you people bitching about Springsteen, he owes us this, why is he doing that? He's going to make that record sound crappy, and it's his voice at 72 or 73. He shouldn't be singing that stuff. Give me a break. Let the artists do what they want. If you don't like it, move on. Move on to the next thing. There's so much great music. There's new bands. You could buy a new band. You don't have to buy the same old crap again, right? And these artists in their 70s are doing this amazing stuff. Now, it's not for everybody. So be it. That's what's great about art. Art is not for everybody. So that's my mini rant based on Bruce Springsteen. You know, soul record coming out. I am excited about it, you know. And we'll see. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Then we move on to something else. But I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you listening. What do you think? Do you think that the artist should bend over and take it in the ass for you, the fan, just because you've been buying his record for 50 years? I don't think so, but I'm curious what you think. Maybe you do. And if that's the case, you're wrong. And Mazzy loves you anyway.